Between the fires, the floods, the fact that the railway never made any money except for a few months in 1924, it was really ill-fated from the beginning. Thaddeus Lowe was one of these Americans that came about just before the Civil War by building a balloon to cross the Atlantic Ocean. He had more than 200 patents in his lifetime, infinitely brilliant man, horrible businessman. By 1888, he had come to Southern California. Thaddeus Lowe was all about action and getting things done. And when he came to Pasadena in that time, it reminded him of the Mount Washington Cog Railway. And if they could have that cog railway back there, why not a cog railway or something of the like in our local mountains? He figured out that just a little bit east of the Rose Bowl, that this would be the ideal place. Pasadena was kind of a burgeoning community at that time, and that was the natural place to start a railway to go into the local mountains. 1893, July 4th, he opens his railway to great fanfare. Thousands of people show up. At the top of the railway, there were 4 hotels, there was a petting zoo, the world's largest searchlight, 4-star dining, champagne, caviar, you name it, it was there. At the top of the incline, it was another 3 miles that people would get on the Alpine Division, as it was known, to go back to Alpine Tavern. When the Incline Railway opened in 1893, it was pretty much for the social elite. It was the people who had money, who had the means, who wanted to try a new experience. But during that time, it was only about 6 months in 1924 that it was ever in the black or a money-making, viable railway. It became evident that Lowe had lost an absolute fortune. Cost overruns had basically forced him into bankruptcy and receivership. By 1897, he had lost the railway. The Echo Mountain House, that hotel was burned to the ground in January of 1900. By 1905, there had been another fire where they had lost another hotel and a couple of other buildings. By 1915, most everything had been lost on Echo Mountain, so there was really nothing to see at that time. It was officially abandoned in 1941 and sold for salvage for less than $1,000. The remains today are basically some steps, the reservoir that once housed the water for the hotel, a couple of hotel ruins, foundations, things of that nature. Just before Thaddeus Lowe's death in 1913, he was interviewed by a local paper, and he said, you know, if this railway lives on and people have a great time and they're able to look at Southern California from the mountains, it would be good enough for him. There will always be a mountain with the name Thaddeus Lowe on it, or Mount Lowe.